Hi, welcome to Tomorrow Again. Please like, share, subscribe to this channel if you have not already subscribed. And as you guys know, I really appreciate each person that takes the time to watch my videos and to comment down in the comment section your thoughts. And I appreciate everyone who has taken the time to share my videos. And for everyone that has come here via your recommendations, thank you for taking the time to click on the video. You know, you never know what might apply to you, what information that you might need to hear, and what information others might need to hear. Today, I want to talk to you guys. I want us to talk about being an empath. I probably should have made this my very first YouTube video. Better late than never. It's story time. I first became aware that I was an empath when I was a really small child. I didn't know what it was called, and I just kind of assumed that what I could see and feel and know, and what my sister could see, feel, and know, everyone was that way. I just assumed that that's just how life was. You saw someone, you just knew things about them, or you were maybe trying to go to sleep and you just began to feel things, and then you noticed that those things that you felt, some of the things began to manifest. And as a small child, it's hard to figure all that out, and it's very stressful. I think what is really driving me, what really drove me to make this video, is because I know there are so many people out here who are empaths. And I'm not talking about someone who unfortunately is mentally ill and they suffer from depression or any other mental illness. I'm talking about a feeling. And if you're an empath, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But to explain this to someone who is not an empath is like it's like explaining to a guy what it feels like to have a uterus. I don't know any other way. I can't think of any other comparison. It just is what it is. Now, everyone has intuition. Everyone does. We're born with that. But the ability, having the ability to feel for someone else, I mean, literally, you could be shopping, you could be in class, you could be giving a reading. I mean, no matter what you're doing in your life, you absorb other people's energy, and it is disrupting. You cannot necessarily turn it off when you want to turn it off and then turn it back on. There's things that you can do to protect yourself, to lessen it, but you can't turn it off and then turn it back on. One of the signs that a child is an empath, when you see them or hear them saying, "Aw," a lot to someone else, someone else's situation, or they may tell you that they've seen ghosts or they have pretend friends, because the spirit world, the other world, one of the other worlds is able to pick up on an empath as well, or maybe it's just that we can pick up on that other world. Yes, there's more than meets the eye in the land, this land of the living. So when I was a small child, I remember I was lying down on the couch, and I think it was around Christmas time, and I was probably about maybe 4 years old, 3 or 4 years old, and I remember looking at the Christmas tree lights, and the Christmas tree was silver. It was either silver or white. I don't really remember which. And I began to drift somewhere, and I wasn't asleep at all. I wasn't fully woke either. And I began to see patterns. And for someone that's never experienced this, once again, it's hard, really, really, and I'm very embarrassed that I can't find the words, the adjectives to describe this for you guys. It began to be a series of patterns, of colors, and the best colors that I can describe or compare would be in the beige tone, gold, glittery gold tone colors, and they were weaving in and out of the other colors, and it began to be flatter than what flat could be, and I was a part of this pattern and a part of those series of colors. Once again, I've never told anyone this. I told my children. I feel vulnerable, even divulging this experience. But if I can help another child or another person, teenager, doesn't matter the age, if I can help someone else to understand what being an empath is, then it's worth it. You know, it really is. Hopefully, you know, this will help someone. But I began to experience these patterns. And then shortly thereafter, I opened my eyes. And as I said, even as a child, I knew I wasn't asleep. I opened my eyes and I sat there and I tried to figure it all out. And I never told anyone. And I'm one of those people. I understand confidentiality, and I hold confidentiality to an extremely important extreme. But when I was a kid, I couldn't hold water. I told everything. Yes, so one of the signs, number one, of an empath, especially a child who is an empath, they will occasionally be seen as having a very creative imagination. They will be seen as exaggerating. They will be seen as having imaginary friend. They will tell you that they've seen ghosts, and they're usually pretty bright children, and will also tend to be viewed as a loner or an introvert. You're not going to see too many empaths partying and socializing with a lot of people, because that is draining. Anyway, my life has been interesting with the knowledge of having this ability to absorb other people's energy. Now, to protect yourself, especially if you have a job where you work around people, you know, you may wait on a lot of customers. Well, you have to work. You can't just be an empath and stay home and lock yourself away from the world, although it's very tempting. Try to purchase a crystal to block out some of that negative energy. It has even been suggested to me. I've never tried it, but someone told me that they would sometimes put a paper as a filter in between them and the other person. It truly is draining. If you are an empath, you know exactly what I mean. You can literally walk into a room and no one needs to say anything, and you can feel each and every person's energy in that room. Also, empaths know other empaths. You could take 50 people, 25 empaths, 25 people who are not empaths, and those empaths will gravitate toward one another. We know when we feel another empath. So yeah, if you have a child who is showing these symptoms, listen to them. You know, I'm not a professional. I don't, you know, and that's another reason I would like to see parapsychology taken serious. And I know the science world, the science community, you know, they tend to look at parapsychology as pseudoscience. You know, it can't be proven. Well, one of the reasons it's difficult to prove is because being an empath, being a psychic, being someone that sees ghosts, because it's about what you feel. It's about what you feel. It's a whole, it's almost like comparing mind reading. Like, say if you have two people who are communicating just with their mind telepathically, it's like comparing that to speaking the way we're used to speaking, verbally, using our voice to speak. It's very similar to that. So hopefully soon, science will take this seriously, and we will begin to understand one another, the empaths and the non-empaths. So if you have a child who is an empath, believe them. It doesn't hurt to believe them, to listen to what they're saying, and to try to support them, to explain to them that they're an empath. They're probably an empath, and it's okay. It's fine. And help them to understand the need to protect themselves. Send them this video. Yeah. Let them watch this video. Do some research. It is our responsibility as a parent to foster each and everything a child is about, to support them and who they are. So I hope this helps you guys. I really, really do. One last thing. I just wanted to mention that sometimes a person is not able to handle absorbing all the things, that life brings, the way society is structured, the way it is. It's not always conducive to an empath. And sometimes empaths can fall into deep depression, even suicide, So there's good and bad to everything. I think in time you gather strength and understanding of who you are as an empath, and you understand the need for balance. Your body just kind of lets you know. It just kind of steers you in the proper direction, and your mind kind of knows how to go after things that foster balance and positive energy. You see, empaths have to have that in order to be healthy mentally. So if a person does something, like the rapper, entertainer, musician, singer, I'm not sure what adjectives to use. He appeared to me to be a genius. He was definitely an empath. I knew immediately that XXXTentacion was an empath. His heart felt things that some people out here will never understand. Are empaths perfect? Nope. We are not perfect. We make mistakes. It's just the way we look at the world, the way we absorb other people's energy, and we can see and feel their energy equally to our own. And sometimes you can't really tell the difference if it's your feelings or the person sitting next to you. That's how strong it is. I'd like to make another video about empaths, and to try to aid in helping empaths understand what we are, and how we can have a more peaceful, balanced, loving life. This is Tomorrow again. Wishing you guys the best of the best, and I'm sending you guys love and light. And all you empaths out there, stick together. Hang in there. Don't feel overwhelmed, and don't feel the need to denounce who you are. I'm wishing you guys the best of the best. Thank you.